Man, welcome back to the podcast. We're going to take a little break from these dynasty rankings real quick, but let's see. Since this podcast started in the middle of the summer, we didn't get to touch on some of the big-time trades. We're definitely about to talk about some of them today. We're talking Tyreek Hill from Kansas City to the Dolphins. That was a crazy trade, but first, hit subscribe to the podcast. Hit that ad button. Today, I got P. Miller 91 with me. P. Miller, what's up?
Yo, appreciate you having me. My Hamm, had him on Twitter.
We just talking some football. That's all we're doing. We just talking some fantasy. That's just what we do. We're just recording it today. So, P. Miller, Tyreek Hill, moves from Kansas City to the Dolphins in a crazy blockbuster trade.
That's a big move right there.
Only 28 years old.
Only 28. He's got, he's got at least 5 more years. I was just saying.
Five good years.
This guy is super fast. He's super athletic. 5'10", 185. Like, he's got. I see 5 more years of this guy not even slowing down. You know what I mean? And then so he could even go beyond that, in my opinion. But going to the Dolphins. I mean,
dynasty-wise, I think he takes just a tad step back. Like, let's just say if I had him in my top 5, I probably got him more in my 7 to 10 range.
Yeah,
is what I'm thinking.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I mean, you're going from Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, where he's the number one guy.
Number one guy.
He's going to Miami. I mean, he could be the number one guy down there. I don't see why not.
I would say he's going to be the number one guy, but Waddle definitely takes some of the target share away from.
Definitely going to take some snaps from him.
Man, think about how crazy of a trade this was, P. I mean, throughout this dude's career, like, starting from, 2017, he's finished number 8. In 2018, he was the number 1. In 2019, he got injured. But in 2020, he's the wide receiver 2. And last year, the wide receiver 6 in PPR leagues. Dude got 159 targets last year, so you know that's coming down.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Tua and Waddle, they got, Alabama connection, you know what I'm saying?
I definitely think we're looking at one of these situations where we could have 2 receivers in the dynasty top 10, kind of like a Jamar Chase, T. Higgins situation.
Yeah, I could definitely see that because I feel like Tua's going off this year. It's make or break for Tua.
Yeah.
And he got Tyreek Hill. They got him with these weapons now. So, and I think, so Tyreek Hill, he does go down a notch just a little bit, I think, just because it's a new setup, new quarterback, new everything.
How about this? And say for a redraft here, would you rather have Tyreek Hill or Cooper Kupp?
I'd rather have Cooper Kupp.
Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson?
I'll go Jefferson.
Yeah. Okay, well, what about Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, who we'll talk about some other time?
Yeah, I like that. That's a good one. I might go Tyreek on this one just because I feel like I just got a feeling about it. Like, I'd rather go. I feel like it's a safer bet as of right now.
Yep. So, Tua, big winner?
I think Tua's a big winner in this trade for sure. I mean,
it's definitely a make-or-break year, though.
I think it is Tua's make-or-break year because, they was already talking about going after Deshaun Watson. And, Tua ain't bad.
There's always been noise around Tua for some reason.
Yeah, he's been hurt, and he's, he ain't the tallest guy, and he's a lefty, though. He's got all these different things about him, but I like it, I'm high on Tua right now, and they going to open things up for him, I think.
Finished last year as the quarterback 26. I know he has some injuries. Only played 13 games. That's the thing. He's been hurt. I think if he stays healthy this year, I think we could be looking at, I would say, his height is top 16, I would say.
Yeah.
Like a high-end wide receiver, too. But, I think in Superflex leagues, Tua as your number 2 quarterback, you're set. I would definitely buy into that.
I mean, yeah, I got Tua as my number 2 guy on the Superflex league, and I feel pretty good about it. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is Tua's year, no doubt.
Yeah,
get Tua. Everybody go out there and get him. Even if you're in a regular one quarterback league, redraft, whatever, get him as your backup. You won't. I mean, you kind of want 2 good quarterbacks anyway, in my opinion.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, yeah. Okay, well, shoot. With Gesicki, I think he stays the same.
Gesicki, yeah.
He's just there.
He's riding it out. I mean, he's
definitely one of the tight ends that you want if you don't have one of those top 5 guys.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get you, a solid 12 to 14 points, I'd say.
Let me just check.
On a weekly basis. I mean, maybe not. He might have. I had him last year.
Gesicki.
Man, and
finished as the tight end 9. So basically, I think his summary is Tyreek Hill. Dynasty-wise, he might come down on the notch just from moving Patrick Mahomes to Tua Tagovailoa, but we're not Tua haters, so we definitely could see some.
I can definitely see him still doing well, but
definitely a wide receiver 1 still.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
You think he's what? He dropping that number wide receiver 2 range? I don't know.
I would still have him at number 1.
All right,
for sure.
Let's just look at real quick. Waddle. How does this affect Waddle? I potentially think it opens it up for him. I think he could still have the same. I mean, let's just check his targets out. I mean, it's definitely got to come down just a little bit, wouldn't you think?
I think, yeah. I mean, Tyreek Hill is definitely going to take some targets away from Waddle, but I think Waddle could have more explosive plays this year.
140 targets last year. Maybe in the 135, 130.
It just depends on how things go. I mean, you never know. He could have more, but
man, what
he's
a great
probably going to take
have.
a little dive on his targets.
I stay trying to get Waddle. I can't ever get him.
I mean, he's one of those guys you want. I mean, he's your future, especially in these dynasty leagues.
Fringe wide receiver 1 dynasty, I would say. Fringe.
Yeah.
High 2. He would definitely be a little bit outside my top 10. But I'm definitely buying in to Waddle, I would say.
Definitely.
So, hey, we buying into all these players. Let's talk about Mahomes, though. Dynasty-wise, I drop him down just a couple spots just because you lose your number 1 guy. I know you still got Kelsey. But I think Patrick Mahomes, I mean, it ain't like we're talking about, he's out my top 5. We're talking about from like 1 to 3. And either way, if I had Patrick Mahomes, I mean, I'm not gonna be sitting here crying a river. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I'm definitely keeping Pat.
Yeah, you definitely want Mahomes. Like, I don't think he's number 1 guy. I think he's definitely. I would put him at 3 because I put Herbert at 2 right now. Honestly,
I'm with you. So, yep. Okay. Well, what about Kelsey? Big boost.
Kelsey,
huge.
I mean, he's gonna continue on in an upward direction. You know what I mean? He was already like, a number 1.
He's one of those ones you want to have.
But
There's
now
no doubt
he's
about
definitely one. I say he's the most number 1 tight end you should go out there and try to get this season for a redraft league. For dynasty. I mean,
you would take him over Andrews.
I wouldn't take him in a dynasty league over Andrews.
Finished as the wide receiver 2 last year. What about in a redraft league though, Phil?
In a redraft league, I'm taking him number 1 tight end.
Nah,
man.
Wait, you know
are you
what?
talking about Kelsey?
I feel like you can't, because I feel like Kyle Pitts, even though dynasty-wise, if he's number 1, he's not number 1 in redraft leagues. Not this year.
I agree with that, yeah.
Andrews, I might say he was number 1.
He could be number 1 in either redraft or dynasty league.
I like the risk, though, man. Take Kelsey. It'd be fun.
I say so. I mean,
dang, the upside on that. I mean, I know. I mean, he's 32, probably going to turn 33.
Just double cover him all season, But I still think he's going to get his targets anyway, you know what I mean? Tight end's always open, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So he's definitely not he's definitely not top 2 dynasty-wise, but redraft leagues, me and Phil are sitting here saying this dude could be the number 1 tight end, and I agree.
Yeah, I mean, why not, I mean, I could be dead wrong, but, I mean, you never know. The way I see it, though, it's looking that way for him.
There's just a lot of guys Kansas City has, like no real star at wide receiver, really. I mean, just we kind of got some big names like Miko, Juju, Vantling. He's always hurt.
Yeah.
Who am I missing? Sky Moore, the rookie.
Yep.
Is there just like is this going to be like a real spread out type deal, or are we looking at can one guy stand out above the others? Which guy you think?
I think it's going to be Mahomes is going to have to spread that ball out. It's going to be everybody's getting bread, you know what I'm saying? Like equal slices of the pie kind of thing. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. He's going to be
supporting a lot of wide receivers.
He ain't even going to see the player. He's just going to see the jersey. It's like, there's a red jersey. Shoot. Like, and Mahomes, I mean, I'll say this about Mahomes. He is taking a step back. He's losing his number one guy. But also, I mean, from what I've seen, I don't follow him too much, but I've seen he's like getting married or something. Might have had a kid. I'm not even sure. We need to fact check me on that one. But I just see he's kind of busy this offseason. Yeah. I'm just thinking,
a little bit of distractions.
A little bit, and I mean,
stack division.
But I mean, he could go out there and prove me wrong. And this is Mahomes. I mean, he's good. He's probably better when he's just relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Just going out there playing ball.
Yep.
So
agreed.
You never count him out. But I'm thinking he's definitely out of my top two.
The guy who I think has the potential to stand out and have a breakout year, I'm thinking people are sleeping on Miko Hardman a little bit. I think at the end of the year last year, Andy Reid is quoted to say they found a little groove with Miko Hardman.
Yeah.
And he definitely played better down the stretch towards the end of the year.
Yeah, that's true. He was. I mean, whenever I'd watch him, he was always getting some targets. He's getting some touchdowns, So, and now with Tyreek gone, I mean, this guy could end up being the number one wide receiver there. I mean,
it's his for the taking.
Yeah,
is how I see it.
Is, yeah. Well, it's all about who's going to work the hardest, I feel like. They're all kind of on equal footing there in Kansas City. It's like who's going to go out there, work the hardest to get it, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Well, heck, I would say fantasy-wise, man, we're just saying you continue to buy on Tyreek Hill, maybe not as high as you would in the past couple years. So that about sums up the Tyreek Hill trade from the Dolphins side and the Kansas City side. You can check out my guy P. Miller on the Poor Man's Politics dropping. It's dropping.
Poor Man's Politics. Y'all got to check that one out. Y'all ain't going to know what to say about that.
Part of the Cruise Podcast Company. So yeah, that about sums it up. We're gonna be going through and knocking out some of these trades, but hit the add button. We're talking fantasy. That about sums it up though. I'm out.